All right, welcome to Hump Days.
Today, we're going to talk about an article we saw that said you're not offended that Madonna's had plastic surgery. You're offended that you can tell.
Ooh, that's a good point. She went in for that surgery, and there's no way she went to that consultation office and was like, I want to look like a Korean woman who's going through a severe allergic reaction. I want my fans to be so concerned about me that when they come up to me for an autograph, they hand me an EpiPen. Because you want them to age gracefully. Like, you want to wish that you could be 65 and smoking hot without having any work done.
Yeah, but that's not how it is.
That's not how it is. Sometimes you go under the knife and it doesn't come out how expected.
I don't know if I necessarily believe that the article is true. I don't know if I'm offended, first off, right? I don't think people are offended. Her fan base, I think, is more kind of like sad or shocked, maybe, right?
Yeah. I think that might be it. I think that people are like a little bit sad and shocked because Madonna's always been like really cool. Like she started off as the material girl, like, you know, kind of cute and like coy about sexuality. And then the 90s came and it was just like full blown, like, yeah, I'm a whore. I'm banging in front of the cross. I'm banging a black Jesus. This is awesome. And then, you know, then the Vogue came out and it was like she's blonde Madonna and just like really cool. And that documentary came out with like, it was just like she was just so versatile with her look in the 90s and even like the early 2000s. Like you had Ray of Light, which is really cool. It's like a stripped down Madonna where she's just like, you know, like singing Ray of Light, where she's just like in a white t-shirt and jeans, looking cool, but a little bit nippy, so still sexy. And then she kind of came into like when music came out, like that was kind of cool as well because it was kind of like the Ho becoming the madam type of vibe to it, where she's like in the fur coat, back of the limo, and like she's letting all the other girls be hot type of thing, but it's just like I'm still kind of hot, even though I'm like 40 something.
Okay.
Well, it's just like, you know, because back then people still thought 40 was too old. Like,
I think they still do. I think 27 is how old you're allowed to be as a woman, I would say,
hot?
in Hollywood. Yeah, like everybody's trying to look 27, I think.
Yeah, but they don't look 27 unless you're the Kardashians, but they have great doctors.
I don't know if they would look 27 close up, and Kylie's even getting this criticism of looking like way older than her
That's
age
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
from all of the surgeries.
And all that time in the sun.
I think there is a point to the article in saying like, hey, you can't tell, right? And that means that, you know, you're not commenting on it as much and making as much of a fuss. But yeah, I don't know if we're offended.
Not offended. I
Yeah.
think it's also like, it's because Madonna just comes out as this strong, confident woman.
That was
And so
kind of
like
her
with Madonna,
thing.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
strong and confident. So, but when you go under the knife, it kind of comes across as an insecurity. It's like, I'm not secure
Right.
about how I look.
Yeah.
So her going under the knife is just like, you're supposed to be this beautiful, confident woman, like aging gracefully. Like, I'm proud of how old I am and how I look.
Yeah, and I also feel like she was never really a look that was like conventional anyway. Like the gap tooth was kind
Yeah.
of like atypical or something that people would typically correct. So she was like leaning into this like, hey, I'm like a natural hottie.
Yeah.
And she wasn't necessarily this like perfect supermodel look or anything like that ever. So it just feels weird that she's trying to adhere to a beauty standard of like anti-aging, I guess.
Well, and she looks old.
Yeah, and she looks
Yeah.
old. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, that's the thing. She looks old. And it's just like, it seems like sort of her setting a trend. She's hopping on a trend. And that's kind of like
Yeah.
the sad thing. It's kind of like, it's like those old rock stars that still dye their hair black and still have the long hair and still trying to act like they're 27. It's like with those guys, I'm like, hey, dude, like you're like 65 and like you have like grandkids. Like you shouldn't try to be banging these girls anymore. It's just like kind of creepy and gross.
But isn't it interesting though? I would say that 50 and like 40 to 50-year-old male bands like, you know, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Kiss, even wearing all of that makeup and staying silly and everything and touring, like I don't believe they didn't get the same kind of criticism as Madonna.
I think Gene Simmons does because his whole thing is like how he likes to bang a lot of chicks. And it's just like, well, you're old and gross. And it's like you have a wife and kids. Like even when they had that reality show, it's still kind of like, dude, your kids are great. Your wife is awesome. Like, what are you bragging about banging all these chicks for? Like, he still did get that.
Yeah, yeah.
And like even Hugh Hefner towards the end, everyone's like, these girls, like when they had those girls had the reality show. It's like, this is weird. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like,
So is it because she is an older woman who is being overtly sexual that is weird? And like an older man being overtly sexual is also kind of weird?
I
Well,
think it's
what it
more
is?
common that men are just gross old creeps.
yeah.
And she's not being like, it's just kind of, I don't know, because she just looks creepy. Like, she looks creepy.
Yeah.
And she's trying to hang out with the young kids, like, hopefully not sexualizing them, but it's also like kind of the same vibe.
Yeah, like she has like a 27-year-old boy. Like Madonna has like a dating like these 20-year-olds again. It's just like, but like the way you were projecting was you were aging gracefully. Like you were married to Guy Ritchie. You were
She had like 5 facelifts though before.
well,
Yeah.
I meant like in the not look wise. I meant like creative wise. Like she was aging gracefully, creative wise. Like she was directing films. Her music was kind of evolving as well. It was like she was being Madonna. She was just like kind of reinventing herself as well. And now it just feels like she's reverting back. I think honestly, I think Lady Gaga broke Madonna's brain.
Really?
Because like she was on that projection of just like constantly changing like her vibe every album, every decade. She was just coming out with this new thing. Then Lady Gaga comes on the scene and just steals her like 93 vibe. Where it's just like, you know, like with that 93 vibe where she had that documentary where she had the bra with like the pony bra.
Yeah, yeah.
And like has all the gays around her like a gay icon. And it's
Yeah.
like, Madonna's like, that was my thing. Like that's my gimmick. Like that
Yeah,
was my
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And no one seems to remember that. And I think that really got in her head. So she wants to revert back to being that sexual icon that like Gaga is now. But she doesn't really want to admit it. So that's why I think she's kind of reverting back to just that overly sexual type woman.
I don't know. Yeah, it's but like I also have seen Cher in concert recently and I felt like that was super cool still and she was wearing fishnets and her butt was out.
Yeah, but that's
She was like, "What's your grandma doing
yeah,
tonight?"
what's your grandma doing tonight? Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's locked in that time period. So like that's like kind of like Kiss, where like we're dressing the same as we did when we were in the 70s.
Okay.
So we're still doing it. But Madonna's always been known for like,
So because Madonna's putting out new albums, it's weird.
well,
Well,
she's
she's changing up the whole vibe,
she's
too.
like, yeah, like
Right?
Cher's
she's always
just still
changed
dressing
it.
up that leather outfits from the video. If I could turn back time. So it's
Yeah.
like people watch that and remember that. Like that's what it's nostalgia. Mm-hmm. So it's like those 80 hair metal bands, like they still dress like they're in the 80s. So
And isn't that what Madonna's doing with her pointy bra? It's like one of her most iconic looks.
no, it is, but she's always been what's it called when it's just like you're always new. You've always been like you've been like a pioneer on what's cool and trending. Like
Yeah,
you've never
trendsetter.
She's been a trendsetter. Mm-hmm. So it's just like you just expect her to keep doing that. I think that's
Right,
what the
I would say like
expectations are.
Kiss is a fad.
Yeah.
And then like Madonna's a trendsetter, so people judge Madonna more because they feel like she's capable of doing more original things, and maybe she's just tired of it, you know?
So it's sort of a disappointment that she's doing the kind of like tour, like throwback tour right now.
Yeah, it's kind
instead
of a
just,
throwback
like,
tour, and
new.
she's like trying to like dance sexily with like these 27-year-old professional choreographic dancers, and she can't keep up. Like we've seen videos of her not be able to keep up with them anymore, and it's just like, you know what? Like you've been one of the most creative minds for like almost. Well, I don't want to date her, but it's just like since 1985.
You can
like
just
you've
stop.
just you can find
chill.
something else other than doing that. Like you have everyone's respect. Like you've been doing it for almost 40 years.
Right.
So it's just you don't need to be overly sexualized. Like you don't. You already have.
So weird.
You have that. Like you have that in your history book. Like you got that. Like what's the next step?
So many people jerked off to her. Like,
Yeah, like there's so much DNA has been spread because of you, Madonna.
It's sort of like a switch from being like she's not aspirational anymore, and she was.
Correct.
She was aspirational forever, and now she's not something that people want to. It's not like I don't think a lot of us look at that lifestyle and what she's doing as like, oh my God, I can't wait to just have like endless surgeries when I'm 60. You kind of want to like be able to not almost. It's like cool when someone doesn't follow the trend. Although at the same time, like, I don't know, there's so much pressure, and I don't know. I feel like women, we have to decide at a certain point if we're going to go like get an extra 10 years of looking hot in our 40s or something like that and get all the surgeries. And it's like, it doesn't look good after that, right? You get those good 10 years and then it's not good anymore. Or you go the direction where you like just like have wrinkles and then way too early in your life, you're like held back. Like you don't get those 10 years, but you aren't judged later. So it's like, do you get, what do you pick? It's a hard decision.
Yeah. I think that she did both things at the same time, where it's just like she got a lot of surgery done and she wasn't innovative. So it was, those things collided.
Yeah, that's
So it's
exactly
like
it.
that's what happened. So
see.
she wasn't like, it's not like she's on there dancing like she's 27 years old again. And in my mind, I'm like, everything you've done up to that point, I can. It looks like you were excited about that, like your
Yeah.
Ray of Light album, your music album, like Vogue. Like it looks like you were excited to unleash
Yeah, a
your
lot
shine to
of
the world.
comments are like she has dead eyes or
Yeah,
something.
like you're not
Yeah.
doing this for yourself anymore. This is like this is like for how you want people to perceive you. This isn't like something you're excited to give out. This isn't for you anymore.
Maybe it's for clicks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's the saddest thing. If when Madonna's doing things for clicks, it's just like,
Yeah, I
My
know. I
God.
think that's how bad it's getting with like this old school media
yeah.
people,
Oh,
like
that's a
people who
good
are
point.
from like the previous generation of.
And that's oh man, now that you say
media.
that, that's the saddest part, because she was an icon, like, and then now she's just doing it for clicks. Oh, I never thought about that. Oh, that makes me so sad for her.
I think that's what it generally is everybody's just kind of like sad for her and feeling disappointed. I don't think they're offended.
I'm not disappointed in her actions. It's just like, I'm not like, oh, shame on you, Madonna. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, but I think some guys are like, I think from some guys, see, like, you're 65 years old. That's the same age as my grandma. Like, I don't want her doing that.
I know.
Like,
I don't want her having to feel like she has to dance around in that way. She's not even actually. Also, the dance moves just haven't been good. Like
Yeah,
the
the
dance
dance
moves are really bad and awkward and slow. And it's like maybe she should just be singing it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
yeah, she should be
Or
singing it.
humping
That's
the
what
air.
Cyndi Lauper did. I mean, she just went with the pantsuit and just showed off her voice and just play the guitar and just like in a smaller venue.
And I saw Stevie Nicks recently, and she was amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy how Stevie Nicks still sounds like Stevie Nicks, because I watched the behind the music of her, and at the height of her cocaine addiction, she was smoking 60 cigarettes a day.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, and that's like at least a year's worth of that. So like that's just wild. Like she still sounds the same, because Elton John doesn't sound the same. Mick Jagger doesn't sound the same. Bob Dylan, who knows what the hell he sounds like now? It's just it's just like rocks in a dryer, poor guy. I love Bob Dylan, by the way, but I mean, you have a Bob Dylan book right now. I got you.
That's true. You got me this though. I think, or maybe I stole
No, I
it from
got
you.
it. Yeah.
But
But like, yeah, it's only like Stevie Nicks and Paul McCartney still sound the same, and Madonna does sound great, because
yeah,
like,
she actually does sound pretty
yeah.
great.
Oh, and Axl Rose sounds terrible now. He sounds like the creepy guy from Family Guy. Like, I'm gonna get you, sweet child of mine.
How many surgeries do you think is too many surgeries to get? Like, when is the point of no return with the surgery? Like, where's the line between like Jennifer Aniston and like Courtney Cox? And
Oh, that's a good
taking
point.
it too far.
Yeah. Oh my God. Exactly. What is the point of no return?
Because there is something about that article saying like that does ring true, that there is a benefit if you can't tell someone's had surgery.
Yeah.
Like there's this weird line that women have to navigate of like caring too much
That's true.
about
Because
their
when you see a woman,
appearance is like uncool, right?
that's true.
So it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But like if you can't tell, it's the perfect winning thing. Like that's what you're supposed to
Yeah.
aspire to.
Because the
So,
point, like the thing is, like when it looks like a woman had too much work done, it just comes across as like, oh wow, she's so scared to age.
Yeah.
She's still scared to look old. But it's on the
Yeah.
guy's side too. Like, look at Zac Efron. That guy's had a lot of work
I
done.
know the guys get ripped apart too for going too far with the surgery, and like Sylvester Stallone and
Oh, his face looks like a catcher's mitt. I don't even notice. Like, the poor guy.
I know.
Well, I don't even know why
How
he
many
was-
surgeries is it till you're like lizard person?
Well, for guys, I guess it's different, because even Mickey Rourke got work after he looked like a like a wrinkled potato. I don't even know.
Yeah.
So for guys, I guess they'll just keep getting roles, but for girls, I think it's a lot harder. But like, yeah, Zac Efron, like his cheeks, his chin, his lips, and it's like, dude, you're not even 35.
Yeah.
What are you getting all this work done for? Like, what are you scared
It's so interesting how the celebrities that like what they're praised for is what they tend to mess up and fuck around with a bit too much. Like Kim, she was known for her big butt, and she was like, why not add like 3 times more butt? And
Yeah.
then like Angelina Jolie, great lips. She just decided to like fill them a little too far. I think she's nice again now, but like she went too far with
Yeah.
that. Zac Efron was known for his jaw being so like prominent and sharp, and he's like, let's add more jaw.
Just add more jaw.
Yeah.
Like it's like they're praised for something being perfect, and then they just like ruin
Fuck with
that
it,
thing.
yeah.
Isn't that odd?
It is odd. Well, especially with Angelina Jolie, because she got her lips from her dad, John Voight, who's an actor. And if you look at John Voight, he still has those lips. So she had nothing to be worried about. He's like in his late 70s.
They don't go away.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah,
They don't evaporate.
like if you got your
if it
dad's lips
started-
and he still has them in his 70s, like you're good to
Right.
go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's so bizarre. I don't know why that happens. Maybe like somebody else comes on the scene that like Zac Efron's like, he has a great jaw too. I need mine to be the
Yeah.
biggest jaw. Or like Iggy Azalea comes on the scene, or Nicki Minaj, and J-Lo's like, I need a bigger butt. Although her butt actually seems pretty natural. She didn't go too far with that.
Iggy?
I don't know. Iggy did, yeah.
Yeah, Iggy
But
did,
J-Lo
yeah.
didn't. Yeah, Iggy did. Yeah,
Yeah,
big
jeez.
butt. Yeah, I don't know. I think like for women there is like I think Joan Rivers was like, if you're like, it's okay to look 50 if you're 40.
Yeah.
Or sorry, if you're 60. Fuck,
Yeah.
I messed that up.
No.
Joan Rivers said it's okay to look 50 if you're 60,
Yeah.
right? So it's just like it's only acceptable to look younger than your age in this world, but also in that field.
Well, I think you just want to look healthy. Like, I mean, like we just started watching Sopranos, and James Gandolfini was 38 years old when he started that, and he looked 50.
Yeah, he did.
Terrible shape. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was just mind blowing.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, thank heavens.
But there weren't headlines about that, were there?
Yeah. Yeah, like this guy. Like,
It's true. It's like a cat person.
yeah, they have. It's very like, yeah. When they have too much work done, they always have like feline tendencies where
Yeah.
like the cheekbones are coming out. You're right. So he's like, yeah,
Looks like a
that's
sphinx. Like
that's the line. When
Yeah.
you start looking like a cat, stop getting work done.
Grimes actually, she started to get surgery like intentionally wanting to look. She always wants to look alien like, but she's like kind of going into it with that
Oh, God.
mindset. But I feel like that's the way to go. Like, why try to look human if you are going that route, right? I think that's the tough part. Although there is a balance, I guess, because I do think like Meryl Streep is looking really good, and there's just no way she hasn't had anything. It's impossible,
Yeah.
right? Can't be. It's the norm. Even us normies are getting something.
Yeah.
If you're over 30, like you're getting Botox. You have to get Botox. Like women who can move their face are ugly and poor.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, it's not. It's a comedy podcast, ladies.
I just love that we were able to work for centuries to fight for our rights to express ourselves, and then now we're just like, we can't.
Yeah, it's just like,
It's impossible.
now guys really can't tell if you're upset.
Yeah, we already are so good at covering that up.
Yeah, it's like she said
I'm
she's
fine.
She said she's fine. She's not even frowning.
Like, I think it's fine. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lots of pressure out there. Well, we hope Madonna's
Yeah.
doing okay.
Well, I think she'll bounce back.
her-
That's the thing, because she's so innovative. She's not a one trick pony.
Yeah.
I
Her
just
speech at the Billboard. Or sorry, go ahead. You just what? Sorry.
I don't know. She had a speech.
So her speech recently at the Billboard Awards, she won Woman of the Year, and I'm like, what year? Like,
All of them.
right?
Yeah.
And so I just feel like she won Woman of the Year. She did a speech, and one of the lines that went viral was like, the most controversial thing I've done is stick around. And I think
That's a great line.
It's a great line. It was a great
Yeah.
speech, and we agree. I think she showed up looking like an alien, and she bleached her eyebrows. I also think that's another thing too. She doesn't look as bad as people think she does. It's just that she's also wearing gold teeth and tight little pigtails with red hair, and she's dyeing her hair every color. Actually, maybe that's the only reason people are concerned is because she's dyeing her hair a million colors. Because that's a number one sign that someone's going through a mental crisis, right?
Going through something.
Isn't
It's
it?
like your hair's purple, pink,
Yeah.
green.
I think people get concerned. When Whitney did it, people were very concerned.
Yeah,
for
that's
her
true.
in the pandemic.
Yeah, because you have to be going through something. Because there's no way you go into a coffee shop and it's like, wow, that barista has great hair.
I think people would be surprised by how normal she looks if she just had her regular blonde hair again and regular makeup and eyebrows back.
Yeah.
I do think there's too much filler. Fillers,
Yeah.
you got to be careful with filler, ladies, right? You really do. Filler, like Botox freezes your face. makes you paralyzed. Like that's keeping your face, but you're just like freezing it kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if you do fillers, you're changing the shape and it migrates and people don't realize it migrates. This is my little PSA. Just like fillers are stupid.
Yeah.
Get maybe like 1 or 2 a year, like vials. Apparently it's like, yeah, I got fillers under my eyes once and as soon as they did one eye, I had a seizure.
Oh, Jesus.
I had a mini seizure.
Oh,
And then
wow.
they were like, do you want the other one done after I woke up? And I was like, yeah, I don't want to look uneven.
Yeah.
So they put it back in.
That's so fucked.
I know. It's stupid. Don't fuck around with fillers, man. It just doesn't work. They don't even work. They looked great. I'm not going to lie. They looked great. But then it's like, what if they're down here? Like, you know, like what if I look bigger than I should because they're like there? Like, I don't know. Apparently they don't leave your face. You don't just put more in your face and it like, cause it disappears. It doesn't disintegrate, it just moves. So you just like add more and it moves and moves. And like, that's what happened to Madonna. That's what happened to Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox got it all dissolved. There is hope. I bet Madonna will just get it all dissolved and like, do a couple little bits here and there and she'll look fine. Like she hasn't really ruined her face.
And also I think Madonna's and Courtney Cox's plastic surgeon's careers are over.
Yes.
It's just like that one that did Courtney Cox. He's a doctor and like says, yeah, I worked on one of the actresses from Friends. Yeah, which one? One of them. Which one?
Yeah.
Like Madonna's definitely not giving her doctor a referral.
Well, we wish Madonna well, and even if she goes the Joan Rivers route, Joan Rivers was an icon
Yeah.
until she died. So
Yeah.
we're
For calling out Big
her.
Mike.
Did she? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that was happening that time.
Yes. Oh yeah.
It's just so funny because I know so many of the listeners are not going to know who Big Mike is.
Better that way.
I don't want to say it because then we're going to get another strike.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. It's just our friend. He's
Yeah,
great.
just
He's
our
a
friend.
really talented comedian.
Yeah, look up the meme. It's I laugh so hard I hurt my balls.
High school friend, you know.
Oh my God.
Holy fuck.
All right. Well, we're just gonna
Yeah.
talk about a few dating stories that we got from our last show. We're having a show, or sorry, should I say? Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
we're doing a show. If you guys are available, if you guys are free for Valentine's Day, need something fun to do, come to our show, stand-up comedy, but with a twist. You guys come in. You guys are kind of the star of the show. So you come in, you write your best dating story on a cue card like this. The comics go up, they do their set, and then afterwards they pick their favorite stories, and each comic picks a story to read after their set. And these are some of the stories.
Best story
Oh, yeah.
wins a cash
Oh, yeah.
prize. So if you have gone through some trauma in your dating life, then you could win some money.
Yeah.
And some praise.
So this is
We're gonna read a few stories from our last show.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
this one. So, on my first date, she almost pissed herself in my car. I stopped at a hotel so she could go inside. She refused and pissed in the bushes. A family saw her wild act. I was so embarrassed.
Oh my God.
Do you think like she just couldn't make it, or was it just like, no, the bushes are fine?
I think I've
prefer
done
the
that so
bushes.
many times.
Oh yeah, you
I
have.
don't know, like
You did it at the San Antonio Riverwalk, just outside the hotel.
Oh my god.
There's like a boat tour about to come around. I was like, Rebecca, let's go.
we're gonna get deported.
Yeah, we're getting deported.
That's so funny.
All right,
Yeah.
Which one do you have?
I went on a date with a guy I really liked, kissed goodnight, then found out a week later he was my cousin.
Your cousin.
Went on a date with a guy I really liked, kissed goodnight, and then found out he was my cousin a week later.
That's like so cute. That's why I love living down in the South. It's just like there's like some wholesome incest down here.
At least it was just a kiss.
We're still together.
I'm glad they found out. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how they found out.
Mom, I met this great guy.
What if he knew? Like,
He knew.
he's like, I've been waiting for this.
It's
There's
just
probably
their-
so many people that are married to their cousins that we don't know.
Right.
They just don't tell anyone.
As long as they're far enough apart, they
Yeah.
don't fuck up.
People might think we
Face.
are.
Yeah, we look like it. Yeah, you wanted to dye your hair strawberry blonde. I'm like, definitely people are gonna think we're kissing cousins. We live in the South.
It's a
funny.
flattering color for our skin
Okay.
tone, okay?
It is.
This one is what I got. Okay, went out with a friend, met two girls, a young mom and her 18-year-old daughter. They were both into me and asked me to ditch my friend. I refused. We all got in my friend's car and dropped them off at the bus station. And then, I refused. We all got in my friend's car and he drove us to the bus station and I told him to leave. To this day, he doesn't know why I did it. So that's a good friend. That's a big notch in the belt. But I think even if you told your friend why now, he wouldn't believe you.
No. Gonna keep that one under wraps. Oh my God.
I accidentally ended up on a date with a Trump supporter after he spontaneously bought us tickets to see Michael Che's show called Liberal but Gangsta.
Liberal, but Michael Che, the black comedian from SNL, he has a show called Liberal Gangster.
Liberal but Gangsta.
Liberal but Gangster. I bet
Those
you that
are polar opposites.
I bet you that audience is like that audience of his is probably like 90% white.
Yeah. I think it is though. I think he's one of those. Yeah.
SNL's still funny. Yay, Michael Che.
Isn't it so funny when a comedian gets the audience that is like the opposite of what they are?
Yeah.
Like Tim Dillon gets all these straight guys.
Yeah.
I guess there's a lot.
There
of
was a
white
lot
people,
of girls
but-
there. There was a lot of
Yeah,
girls at
there's
his
a lot
show.
of girls at his show too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's getting a bunch of the gays
No,
at his shows.
because he's not fabulous.
Yeah, I guess so. He's too big.
Yeah.
They're superficial. Those guys.
Do you have another one?
No, those.
Oh, that's it. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
those
that's
are some.
it.
But we have lots of. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys.
We are so excited. Come to our show if you can make it.
If you guys
And
have a story as well, put it in the comment section. We'd
What
love
time
to
is
read
the
it.
show?
it is
8:30 on Valentine's Day.
February 14th. And that falls on Hump Day this year. So
Yeah.
it's super on brand and it will be super, super fun. Let us know what you think about Madonna. Is it a good idea to age gracefully or should you Frankenstein it?
Yeah.
What do you think? Let us know. What's hot?